Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the Jason podcast. Today we got my dogs, Tristan, my dog Daquan. We finna talk about the One
Yeah.
Piece and Naruto's of that nature. But before we start, I'm just here to let y'all know, man, we on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If it has pod in it, we're in there. So share with your friends and family if you think they might like it. If not, that's tough. I don't know what to say. But take it away, bro.
Yeah, man. So you know how we do it, man. We gonna hop into One Piece first. So picking up from where we left off last time, right? So we just defeated Buggy the Clown, and Luffy and the gang make their way off that island and away from that village. Get a special appearance from Mr. Doggo before they leave, and he defends them and all that stuff. And they head over to this random little island, and they meet this guy stuck in a chest. And bro in the chest basically tells him like, "Hey man, I've been stuck here for 20 years. Um, there's some treasure here that I can never get to on top of this hill." So Luffy being Luffy's like, "Oh, let me help you out." So Luffy reaches up there, and the treasure's empty. And Luffy asks the guy basically like, "Hey, like, what's your next move, man? You can come with us." And the guy decides to stay back and live on this island that has all these like weird forest animals. There's like a pig with like a lion's mane. There was like some other weird animal there, and I, we also learn a good amount in that chapter as well about um the red line. You know, the world of One Piece is split into two oceans, and between these two oceans is a line that goes vertical called the red line. And in previous chapters, we've been introduced to the Grand Line. Well, now we physically know where the Grand Line is. It runs horizontal to the red line. In between the red line and those two ocean masses, it's called the Red Land. So, just to kind of piggyback off of what Oda's obviously been setting up this entire time, what treasure is to each and every person in the series. This guy's treasure before was the physical treasure. Um, that's not there anymore. And now that he's been in this island for 20 years and been around all these animals and stuff, that treasure has now shifted to these forest animals. And I thought that was a nice little moment. And I like the way that Oda turned what could have been a filler chapter into a chapter that had actual, necessary information to move the series along, to where this chapter didn't feel like, oh, Oda just kind of wrote something to just write it. From there, we shift over to my boy Usopp. We're introduced to this character named Usopp, and he's running down the street and he's talking about how, the pirates are coming, which is Luffy and them. And the townspeople are like, man, this dude, basically he does this like every day, right?
Every day.
And every single day, every single morning, he's like, pirates are coming. And then we get introduced up to, Usopp's gang, right? So Usopp and these three little kids, and they love Usopp, right? He's their captain, and you can tell this guy wants to be a pirate, right? He really wants to be a pirate. Um, and as we go along our journey with them, obviously he ends up running into Luffy. But one thing I like, I'm not going to touch on everything because it would take forever. But one thing I really like about this is how Oda made even him just saying like, um, the pirates are coming. That is like a cry for help. Not really a cry for help, but it's from a trauma that he experienced because we learn in Usopp's backstory that his father is a pirate. We learned that from Luffy actually, that his father's a pirate in Shank's crew, and after Usopp's father left, his mother was sick, and Usopp forever thought that his father was gonna go be a pirate and he was gonna find his fruit to bring back to his mother that could cure any and all diseases. And the way that he would deal with this is saying, the pirates are coming, the pirates are coming, dad's coming back to save us and stuff like that. So it's actually kind of sad when you think about it from that perspective that even now as a grown adult, that Usopp is still, kind of continuing that tradition. Also in this chapter we meet this arc. We meet Kaya, and kind of you see why Kaya is a sick girl. She's rich. She's a sick girl who stays in her room all day. but she always lets Usopp come and talk to her. And Usopp tells her all these lies about these crazy voyages and adventures that he's been on. And you see how Usopp is basically taking the things that he did with his mother, and I think that he sees a lot of his mother in her because she's sick and she's stuck in this place, and he's trying to make her feel better by telling her all these adventures of these long lands that he's went and visited and these animals that he's going to fuck. So I thought that was a good way for Oda to develop Usopp. Also, as well, I really like the way that Usopp is drawn. He definitely is highly inspired by Pinocchio. Him being a liar and stuff, he gives him like the super long nose and the hat and everything. So I thought that was a nice little nice little ode to what Usopp is by Oda. Continuing this arc, man. So Usopp, Kaya has a bodyguard. This bodyguard guy or butler is turns out to actually be like a pirate. His name is Captain Kuro, and he's a pretty strong pirate. Well, for this part of the story, he has a plot to basically set up Kaya and to get this hypnotist that's in his little group of guys to hypnotize her, write her name into a will, write his name into her will, and then have her kill herself to where it looks like an accident. And Luffy ends up fighting him, and you know how it goes. Luffy fights him, they win, and Usopp becomes the newest member of the Straw Hats. He is the sniper. Nice little arc, man. Don't really have too many thoughts on a lot of what happened. I do feel like in this arc, for the first time, there was a villain who, Captain Kuro, who did present some kind of danger. He had this nice little ability where he had like these. They refer to him as like cat claws.
Yeah.
Um, but to me, they just looked like gloves that had really long knives in them.
Fucking
Um,
Wolverine.
right, like Wolverine. Like it was kind of weird. Or Wolverine's, yeah,
Yeah.
like brother, whatever. But yeah, K- yeah, Captain Kuro. I mean, nothing too much to say about him. I mean, he's a villain. He's evil for the first time. Like he's one guy that I actually legitimately think is evil. And you don't really get too much character development from the other guys, Luffy, Zoro, and Nami. You can just kind of see. I mean, if you want to look at character development as them, becoming more of a crew and working together, I guess. But individual character development, there's not really much more. Luffy is still the same guy. He's a guy who I think looks for other people who value things and other people over themselves. And I think that he's really drawn to Usopp because of that. He was willing to risk everything to make sure that Kaya was fine. Even his own reputation as the liar of the village, which he maintained even after he left, because all the village people, um, ironically, actually look forward to him doing that every day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like their alarm. Him running down the street and yelling, the pirates are coming. So in a way, he's actually helping them. So I thought that was a really nice thing for Oda to do. But like I said, man, Oda's artwork is amazing. His shading, I'm gonna say it probably every time we talk about it. His shading is just phenomenal.
The shading's what, bro?
Um, his shading is phenomenal. You know,
Yeah. But
and
I
yeah,
think this is the reason I think that Kuro is probably the weakest One Piece villains. Not in like actual strength, but like strength of character. He's kind of just evil for the sake of being evil. Like,
yeah. And what I want, I know a lot of you guys do this. I know a lot of people who watch anime and stuff like this. Not every villain is there to be this deep, well structured, super interesting like character. Like Rose said, like some guys are just there to be evil and to be stepping stones, right? We need our main characters to progress. We need them to learn new stuff and to fight stronger and stronger villains to demonstrate their abilities. And Captain Kuro is just one of those guys, right? He's not written to be a pain from Naruto or something like that, to where he's not just a villain, but in the physical sense, right? Where Pain is a villain in the physical sense and in the ideologic sense,
yeah,
in the ideology as
ideology.
well,
Yep.
right? Yeah. Um, but yeah. since I brought up Pain, we might as well slide into Naruto. My boy Tristan got y'all covered.
All right, so I finished Land of the Waves arc in Naruto. This time I actually watched it because I was short on time instead of reading it. I wanted to get into watching it because um it was also convenient for me, but I wanted to see kind of how the manga and it comes to fruition in the anime adaptation. So
Wait,
I
before you
picked
start, which one do you like more, manga or anime?
okay. I think it's definitely more visually entertaining watching the anime.
Uh-huh.
I think I could have gotten um maybe more information reading the manga, but I like watching anime more than I like reading manga. So I'd say the anime.
Okay.
But um so the second half of this Land of Waves arc was Zabuza and Haku. They end up coming back to fight Kakashi, Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto. Um in the meantime, this whole time Kakashi was kind of questioning if Zabuza was dead and ultimately who Haku was to begin with, because they weren't really sure who Haku was. So Naruto kind of hits a roadblock. He has to save Inari's mom and Inari from Gato's men, which is like the head of a crime organization, and he hires people to kind of do his dirty work for him, like ninjas and stuff like that. But Naruto ends up making his way to the bridge where all the people are, and he sees Haku using ice mirrors to pretty much take Sasuke out. Sasuke pretty much gets hit with needles for like 2 to 3 episodes, which I thought was kind of repetitive. I didn't really have a problem with it, but I just kind of wanted it to move a little bit faster than that. The pacing on that was not the best. But Naruto comes in, makes a grand entrance, um, throws out about 100 shadow clone jutsus for no reason. He ends up losing a bunch of his stamina, but pretty much before he even jumps in to help Sasuke out. But so as Naruto and Sasuke are kind of enclosed in these ice mirror, I don't even know what you would call it, an ice mirror jutsu, or I don't even know what you would call that. But
Yeah, I forgot what it's
the ice
called.
mirrors, huh?
I said I forgot what it's called.
Yeah. So, but Naruto goes in there, starts to kind of distract, but he ends up running out of stamina and kind of just goes down. So Sasuke has to help Naruto out, like guard him from all the needles that Haku is throwing and reflecting through the mirrors. Um, while Sasuke is doing that, Sasuke starts to pick up and starts to catch the speed and kind of see through Haku's movements at this point. And once he kind of sees through all that, he unlocks his Sharingan. And I thought this was really interesting because even without any viewing knowledge or reading knowledge of Naruto, I already knew Sasuke was a very strong character, and I was interested in seeing how he was going to be written in the show or portrayed in the show, right? So when I saw this, I was kind of hype. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hype. Um, but then
Okay,
right after that,
real quick.
go ahead.
So Kakashi has a Sharingan and Sasuke has a Sharingan. Do you think it's possible they kind of match those two together in the squad because of that?
I do think that because they can learn from each other, but I don't know if it was purposeful, you know what I'm saying? But it might end up being something that may seem purposeful because they can teach each other, or Kakashi can teach Sasuke like how to better use his Sharingan, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So um after Sasuke goes down, because it's the needles are Haku's needles are really overwhelming for pretty much probably the average to low tier ninja, I guess. But Sasuke ends up going down, and they start thinking Sasuke's dead, right? Naruto gets up, him and Sasuke have a little moment before Sasuke like not actually dies, but let's just say he's dead for now. Naruto thinks he's dead. and Naruto kind of awakens his own power too. But we know Naruto is has the nine tail fox power, right? So he he kind of just explodes for a few seconds with chakra, and he pretty much internalizes the nine tail fox, and then which was surprising to me because it usually when you see a new power, it's usually out of control, and what I saw wasn't really him being out of control. It was more like he like consumed it and then used it. And then he pretty much just beats Haku up, sees the mask break off Haku, and what we see is Naruto kind of phase back into his regular being, because he saw it was Haku. But in the meantime, we see Kakashi and Zabuza fighting, and uh, Kakashi he's not really fighting back. He's just kind of laying back at this point because to me, he's more of like a strategist. He usually thinks his way through a fight before he even makes a move. But he ends up using this lightning blade technique after he uses his dogs to hold Zabuza in place because he's gonna kill Zabuza, right? So um Naruto was told by Haku to kill him. So Naruto's gonna kill Haku. Haku's like wants to die this commendable death because he doesn't feel he's a worthy shinobi anymore at this point. And as Naruto's going to kill Haku, he sees Kakashi about to kill Zabuza, so he steps in front of Zabuza, um, and Haku ends up dying by Kakashi's lightning blade. And let's just say Zabuza didn't really even care, to be honest. He was just like thinking of Haku as a tool. But after this, we see Zabuza end up ultimately dying to all the villagers that Inari gathers, and they end up killing him, right? But Naruto makes Zabuza feel bad. Well, not feel bad, but kind of have a realization last minute before death, like that Haku did matter to him, and Haku did have an emotional attachment to. I mean, Zabuza did have an emotional attachment to Haku, and towards the end of this chapter, Haku and Zabuza are laying next to each other, and they both end up ultimately dying. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. How did you feel about the Inari situation where the kid was like, "Oh my god, ninja garbage heroes suck." Ah.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I didn't really like that because his
You did
dad.
not say it like that.
Well,
Yeah,
I
you might
mean,
as well though.
like his. I mean, it's not his biological dad, but his dad was his dad really like raised like helped him out. He saved him from drowning in the beginning. Like he saved the village from that flood or whatever. Um and then Gato came and like ended up killing and his dad, I forgot his name, but he he didn't fold in the end. Like he died for what he believed in, and Nari was just like, "You said you were gonna save us with your two hands," and da 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 da. And he just started crying. He basically resented the person who saved the entire village to begin with, which I did not understand at all.
Yeah.
Like that is being a hero. A hero is you saved everybody for the greater good, rather than um you getting everybody killed because of you being selfish, right? So
Yeah. And last time we were kind of talking about like comparisons, like things some of the newer gen anime took from this, and My Hero has a situation that's very
similar,
similar,
very similar.
very similar to that situation. That's why I just tried to see what you had to say about it.
Yeah, very, very similar.
Um, what's your expectations for the next arc, man?
Junie exam. I'm expecting very interesting. I want to see. I'm ready to see like the choreography of this because I feel like the Land of the Waves arc didn't really get into like choreographed fights. It was more like projectiles and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure what in the Chunin exams, what your if there will be any limitations on like what you can use or not, but I have seen the Rock Lee Gara fight because I just used to watch anime fights. So I kind of know what to expect from those two. But I want to see what all the other characters have to do too because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of new characters introduced that um maybe I'll take a liking to, but and they're able to level up as ninjas, right? So
Yeah.
I want to see who kind of levels up or who stays behind. And it is a very long arc. In the anime, it's 20 episode 20 through 67, and in the manga, it's almost like 80 to 100 chapters, right? So,
Yeah. Something.
there's a lot of information to digest there, but I think I'm looking forward to it.
Do you? I don't think they talked about. Do you know what the difference between taijutsu, genjutsu, and then just a regular jutsu
Yeah,
is?
I was just ready to say if
Um,
you
Ta- I forgot. Genjutsu is the. I'm not gonna lie, it's not coming to me right now. But if I watched it again, I'd probably remember.
so taijutsu is what you want, right? You want niggas throwing hands. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
So it's like physical
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
uh,
yeah.
yeah. And then genjutsu is ocular, right? Ocular illusions, visual type stuff, right?
Like Shadow
Me-
Clone shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
shadow.
yeah. I'm remembering. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a genjutsu. Yeah, stuff like that. As the series goes on, everything like in any show becomes more and more complicated, and you'll yeah, you'll see. In the next
Cool.
arc, you will get introduced to more genjutsus. You'll get introduced to a lot of taijutsu, and a lot of ways that these powers can mix. And that's what I think a big strength of Naruto is the fact that you have three different disciplines, right? Taijutsu, genjutsu, and then you have ninjutsu that each fighter is able to use and implement, because there are fighters who are heavy genjutsu users who may not be good at close combat, right? So, you know, if a fighter like Naruto right now, who is mainly a taijutsu user, right? Naruto doesn't really do anything genjutsu wise. I mean, Shadow Clone Jutsu, yes, but he still uses it more for in
Taijutsu.
yeah, more for taijutsu, right? Because he's trying to get in close with all the shadow clones and just overwhelm you. Versus somebody like Haku, right, who uses a mix of genjutsu plus ninjutsu to make his power work. So as you go along, especially in the taijutsu, the tuning exams, you'll see how all these characters um implement their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
for because what is it? Like you said, the ocular stuff is taiju. No, yeah, taijutsu, right?
Genjutsu.
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 Genjutsu. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing taijutsu. Then I want to
Yes.
see niggas box.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see that. Yeah,
I want to
you're
see
gonna
people box, bro.
And I mean, it's kind
Because
of.
there wasn't even a lot of that at all to begin with in the first 19 episodes or first however many chapters, right? So,
I think it's kind of because they had to show like the level that the world can really be at, how serious
yeah.
the world is in the ninja world.
Yep.
okay, so we just kind of getting you like introduced to
They're putting you in high level battles early.
power scaling and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Basically showing you how dangerous this world is, and how, this is not a game. Being a ninja is not a game, right? Being a pirate is not a game either, but it's much more of a freelance type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
anybody could be a pirate.
I mean,
And do
realistically,
anything.
You can be a bum and be a
even
pirate,
in the
right?
pirates, you can like, if you're low enough and you're really like not trying to get bitched, you could just go join a fleet or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. In a ninja world, a lot of times it's gonna come down to you and your power versus you and your jutsu and your experience versus the next person's experience. Because, like you said, like Sasuke's pretty strong right now, right? I would say he's pretty strong. He's pretty skilled, and he was getting punished by Haku,
Yeah, bad.
who is way more experienced, who has actual like combat in life or death situations, and even a guy like Akashi, who you know you can tell has been in a lot of fights before, right? Just by how he carries himself, he's very mature and stuff like that. Versus a guy like Zabuza, who doesn't have the same arsenal of powers that Kakashi has.
Like he's got
Especially with
bodies on his belt.
right, and he has the battle experience to because these two have fought before, right? And we know what happened in their first fight. And this fight, even though Zabuza lost, this fight was a lot closer. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Compared to One Piece, like right now, they're just kind of playing around. Like
Yeah, they're
not
fighting
even-
nobody. They're fighting nobodies right now
nobody's right now. Zabuza is not a nobody. He's not.
at all.
I agree.
But yeah. But yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know. These two series, Naruto and One Piece, man. So far, I definitely say, as far as being a person who has watched Naruto, the entirety of it, multiple times, part one and part two, if you count Shippuden as like part two. I just say Naruto in general. Um, I definitely say Naruto right now for me has the early edge. As far as the things that I look for in an anime and in a manga series. It's much more serious. Um, the fights are a lot more interesting, um, just because of the strategy that's being used. And that's another thing I wanted to hit on because I know we were talking about this in the last episode, um, when we were kind of setting our expectations for the series, for you, Tristan. One thing that I did miss, and I think Ro mentioned it as well, is later on in Naruto, a lot of the powers become very spammy, right? They start
Yeah,
using the same jutsus over and over again, which that is fine. It kind of becomes like a baby version of like Dragon Ball Z, right? You already know what you're gonna get from a Dragon Ball. You're gonna get a bunch
right.
of beam clashes. They're gonna scream. Somebody's gonna be stronger than the other, right? In early Naruto, and you're really about to see this in the tuning exams. And just going forward for this night, even when we get into the sound four and all that stuff, right? You really get to see like how these characters are able to really implement their powers because they're not at a point right now to where their power level is, you know, is high enough to where they can kind of ignore, all right, I need to be skilled in all these areas, right?
Right.
It's like, well, shoot, I got so much natural power, which is chakra in this, in this world, right? So where I can just spam the same thing over and over again. And even though you might be more skilled than me, like it doesn't matter. I'm stronger. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
see,
And
I like because it's balanced.
yeah. And not
Like
to say that Naruto gets boring later on, because by no means does it get boring. I think Kishimoto does a pretty good job of trying to still make the fights interesting, even though Naruto and Sasuke, they get to a level to where it's just insanely insane how strong they get. Um, he still tries to make the fights interesting, but we'll get there.
right. But I think for because I've watched a lot of One Piece, I think for One Piece, this next arc, which is East Blue, I don't really know the exact name of it, but
Baratia.
yeah. So this is where you're gonna be like Luffy's that guy, and you're gonna start to pick up on the Zoro like hype train. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
this is where Zoro becomes my favorite character. And
Okay.
towards the end of the arc, um, Zoro, you're gonna be like, this guy's different. But you're gonna also, because obviously they're going to go do something, right? But you're gonna be like, I'm gonna start rocking with this crew because you might actually start liking somebody different. I don't know who you like the most now, but you might like somebody different by the end of this arc.
Yeah.
Um, as far as like who I like the most now, I mean, I don't know. I think Luffy's I think each character has their like strength. I honestly, right now, Zoro is probably my least favorite character of
That will definitely change. That will
right
change.
now. He's probably I would put Usopp as far as who I like right now a lot higher than I like what Zoro stands for, as far as his his morals, his code of ethics, and how he wants to um fuck the whole thing with his katanas and stuff like that. Why he holds them and such. Why he wants to be the greatest swordsman, right? Um, but I just like Usopp a lot more as a character. Nami is I feel like indifferent towards Nami. Like, okay, she's
That'll
just kind
change
of
too pretty soon.
That
yeah.
yeah.
Which I
All
can see. Like she has potential. Like I think I said this last time. Like she has potential. She has legitimate character potential for her own. Like as not just as a part of like Luffy's crew, but like as her own character.
right.
I'm interested. But Luffy's probably my favorite right now. But I mean, he is the MC.
This at the end of you'll definitely probably character hop, or if you don't like how you might change your rankings around. Like Zoro will not be on your last
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all. He will not.
I mean, I'm fine with that. He's a dog. I
He
know
he
he's gonna be a
he's
dog.
So
he's a
I
real dog.
I'll
He's a
say
dog.
even like further down the series, I think Usopp is a better written character than Zoro, but Zoro is just that guy. So
So that's one thing I did want to talk about with One Piece and Naruto, right? Because with the series being so long, right? Well, with One Piece being so much longer than Naruto in chapters and in anime episodes as well, right? Um, I really am interested to see how Oda, because we've watched Naruto, right?
yeah,
Me and you, bro. So we kind of understand how Sasuke and Naruto they grow over the course of the anime and the show, right? I'm very interested to see how Oda handles when we're 800 chapters in. Am I still going to be learning new things? And it doesn't necessarily have to be like groundbreaking things around these characters, right? There's only so much that you can tell about a character. But based on the experiences that they have along their journeys, are we still going to be able to learn new things, or are these characters going to become, kind of static, right? And it's really going to be the world that kind of takes over as, the character instead of the characters leading the story. The world kind of dictates, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And we're not going to learn anything new about the characters. Like, what depths is Oda going to be able to take these characters to? So that's one thing I'm really interested to see in One Piece.
so I'll say that the development of these characters it comes like little by little at a time over time, and then in the way it kind of like how they're gonna, because you gotta like remember that they still gotta go get like a couple more people for their crew, so those characters are gonna have their backstories, then depth, or then their actual little character moments, and then their actual development. So that's why all the developments of the characters also don't come at the same time either. So it kind of spreads
Yeah,
out over time, and then each character gradually develops. But that's the one thing I think, like when some people, I think they look for development a little bit too early.
hmm
Like off rip, they're like someone.
Because then if you know everything about him,
Yeah,
like what's like
right,
what
right.
I'm
What's the
saying?
point? Like,
Yeah.
they're like, Luffy doesn't develop. I'm like, bro, you've watched 32 episodes. What are you talking about? There's a
right.
thousand episodes. You watch 32. What are you saying right now?
What
Right.
has happened for
You know what I'm
him to
saying?
need
Like,
to develop?
what does he
Right,
need to develop for? Like,
right.
that's my thing with some of the people on the internet and Twitter. They're like, oh my god, Luffy sucks. Asta sucks. I'm like, bro, what do you stop? But yeah,
So like the thing about One Piece I like is let's just say you meet a new villain, right? Like when they fight this said villain, right? They you learn something about every single character. You learn something new. It depends on who's mostly fighting the villain, who will fight the little side villains that come with the main villain, but you'll learn something about every single character every single time they fight somebody new or somebody more powerful, or they'll give you a little more backstory on said villain and how they relate to let's just say Luffy, Zoro, whatever, right?
Right.
I'll say there's still some things about some of these like Luffy. There's things about Luffy I still don't know. And I've been caught up for like a few months now. I don't know things about Luffy. I still don't know where Zoro's from. Stuff like that. So it's just like there's he's done a decent job at pacing it out so that it works within his story versus him just leaving it all like just in the front, like one chapter about Zoro, his whole entire backstory, where he's from, his whole development, Luffy, who his mom and dad is, all this. So I think he does a good job at pacing it throughout the story.
And just to hop back over to Naruto, so me and Tristan, well, all of us were all talking about, how Naruto and Sasuke's relationship is, a big driving force behind Naruto, right? That's his rival. Every shonen,
They
pretty
always
much
got one.
they always got, the side guy that's the rival, right?
Yep.
So I think in this arc, right, is really the first time that we're seeing, the respect between Naruto and Sasuke because, Naruto and Sasuke are fighting Haku, obviously, and Haku's piecing him. And Naruto's about to get, pieced up by a bunch of needles, and Sasuke, moves in the way. And Naruto asks him, like, why? And he's like, my body just moved, right? So I think that's the first time we're really seeing the respect, you know, between there's something there between Sasuke and Naruto. The camaraderie between those two. And we were kind of comparing it to Vegeta and Goku's relationship, right? To where like Vegeta and Goku, especially early on in Dragon Ball Z, did not fuck with each other. Like,
Hated.
Vegeta didn't fuck with Goku, right? Goku didn't care. He was just strong guy.
He's like, hey, strong villain. Let's fight
Right.
strong villain.
Goku's stupid, so he didn't care. But compared to that, I really feel like um, and that's why I really like the Land of Waves arc so much. Looking back on it, I actually like it a lot more now than I did when I was younger, because I could really see what Kishimoto was trying to establish with Zabuza and Haku's relationship and Naruto and Sasuke's relationship. Like, if you really look at it, like, yes, Zabuza and Haku are two villains, right? Two our main characters. But in the world of Naruto, in the shinobi world that, they're going to talk about continuously over and over again, they're just doing what they can to live, right? They're two outcasts. They're, and society has looked at them as murderers, but they're just doing what they can to get by. And the only way that they know how to get by is, by killing and stealing and stuff like that, right? So I really feel like I appreciate this arc a lot more, and I don't know if you feel the same way, Ro. Because you also watched it when you were younger, but
Yeah, I like Land of Waves way more now than I did when I first watched. When I first watched it, I was just really. I think I watched it when
watching.
I was 18 at Goodfellow Air Force Base, and I was just trying to get through that joint. I'm not gonna lie. So
Right.
I was watching like 20 episodes a day on the weekends in between classes, and it was like, dude, like this is cool and all, but like, where's the goddamn fights, bro? Where are the people with the hand movements and the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they wasn't
Yeah.
boxing at all, bro.
Yeah, not for real. I think
You're
that's
about
one
to
of
get 20.
my favorite things in anime period are like hand fights and sword fights. That's why I was
Absolutely.
And Naruto is the best shonen out of all of them with hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, not even
the
close.
fight choreography it's nuts.
It's
When
not
they
even
when they
close.
throw hands, they throw hands in this show. But you'll get there, bud.
I think one thing that I think we all kind of forgot about for real is Kakashi, when they were doing the bell test, he was really preaching about teamwork. There was damn near no teamwork in this
At all.
at all.
I mean,
Naruto and
Sakura wasn't
Sasuke
even doing nothing.
tried, but they were, I mean,
Tried, but
they were doing their own thing within like close to each other, right?
Right. They weren't working together.
Kakashi was doing his own little fight, but I mean that kind of makes a little bit more sense. And then
Sakura wasn't doing nothing.
you know,
It's nothing because she's useless
I
as
can do,
usual.
I can do what
Sorry,
she was
guys.
doing.
You guys are gonna hear look. You guys are gonna hear this over and over again. And look, I want to make this very clear, right? We don't hate Sakura for the fact that she is Sakura, right? Well, we kind of do. But the real reason why I hate Sakura is because, for one, Kishimoto can't write female characters at all. He can't do it. Boruto, they suck in Boruto too. Sarada is okay, right? But like when OK is your best character and your best female character, yeah, that's bad. Especially with the amount that are in the show. But besides that, she has legitimate she has abilities, right? She has a crazy ability that you will find out later on, Tristan, that she does not use to the full extent. Like she has potential as a character, and for somebody who's watched the show and to understand what she's used for, she is an object. Like, and no, none of us view women as objects, right? But that is what she is. Tristan said it before. She is Sasuke's backpack. That is
Literally.
her that is her role in the story. A backpack, right? She's just there to be behind Sasuke and to fawn over him the entire series. And guess what? She's not the only one, right?
Yeah.
So when the other one who comes up, guess what? We're gonna shit on her too.
Absolutely. I'll
That's
say,
okay, bro. It's a wasted
during
character.
my first watch of Naruto, I didn't hate Sakura until she did a certain thing in Shippuden at the Five Kage
Yes.
Summit. That
Yes, bro.
I turned off my TV. I was like, what are we doing? But then on my reread, my first one, because this is actually like my third reread of Naruto. Crazy. I started actually like going like from the beginning of the series. I was just like, well, she's really like shitty. Like she's not.
I told you, bro.
Like she's not doing anything at all. What's up?
See, this is the things like from somebody like I'll point it out from a different perspective. Like you weren't really noticing it when like you were reading.
Yeah.
But when I'm reading this, I'm like, yo, who the hell is this character? She is ass.
Yeah, bro. She's really not on shit for real.
At all.
It's kind of annoying too.
It's like you could have done so much more with this person. You got them safeguarding a citizen. Like, who cares about this guy?
Yeah.
But also to kind of slide into what we were talking about last week, compared to like the new gen, right? A lot of the female characters in the new gen series are good. Like in all of them.
No bar.
Like,
oh yeah.
Right. She's very, very good. Maki is just
That's a god. That's a god.
She's different.
She's different. But, you know what I'm saying? Maki,
even
Mai.
Yeah,
even Mai in Jujutsu Kaisen, whatever her name is, right? She's good, right? And then you go over to Black Clover. Noelle is very, very good. Like she's a very good character.
Yep.
Vanessa, you know what I'm saying? She's a very good character as well. And then you go to My Hero, you know, Uraraka, whatever the fuck her name is, right? She's another very good character.
I think
you know
even
what I'm saying? And
Toga's pretty good too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, especially in the manga where they're at in the manga right now, she's very good.
Toga's pretty good.
Right. So I feel like the new gen definitely learned, and I feel like the manga from this generation definitely learned. Like, all right, let's not write like Kishimoto, and even I always forget who Bleach's mangaka is, but like Bleach's, you said who? Kubo. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot that, but yeah, even like Bleach's like Orihime sucks. Like she sucks, right? Like let's just be honest, she sucks. You know.
But
because she kind of fills the Sakura role. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Get him out.
Yo.
Bro, like, yo, why would you take Orihime over Ruki? I'm like, bro, does Orihime got a Bankai? Like, if she ain't got a Bankai, bro, she's not mine. You know, hey. You feel me?
We got Rengoku too. She's solid. Yororichi's solid too.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
You already know what we worried about with Rengoku, bro.
Yeah, come on, no cap, bro. That shit's crazy.
She don't even need character development, bro. None. Not a page. Not a sentence. She could have said nothing throughout the entire series. Would have been straight.
That shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah. But Yeah, man, I'm excited to continue reading One Piece. I haven't watched a single episode of the anime yet. I'm gonna wait till we probably get about 100 chapters in and just kind of binge a couple episodes of the anime, and I'll let you guys know how I feel about the manga versus the anime. But yeah, so far I like One Piece. I still say even as I read now, and I went back and read the chapters of Naruto, I would definitely prefer Naruto at the moment. But that's not to say One Piece is bad. I just like more serious stuff, right? One Piece is kind of lighthearted right now, but I get the vibe that Oda is going for, right? So I'm not knocking the series for that. I just prefer one over the other.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If you're gonna start watching, whenever you start watching it, this would probably be a good time to start watching too.
I don't
Like
know. I feel like
it is, bro. I think so.
I think there's certain arcs you gotta. So you can watch East Blue, Alabasta, but there's some arcs I would definitely just say like manga is like the best way to go. But if we're talking like
Alabasta for sure. Watch.
for speed speed purposes for weekly odds, probably reading's probably the best bet. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. That's why I said I'm gonna just wait until I get
Yeah.
a good amount in the series, and then go back and watch episodes.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that I want to see actually animated.
That's what I'm saying too. Like there's certain I like I read like a 400 chapters in the middle of One Piece to catch up. I skipped like I didn't skip, but I didn't get to see a lot of the episodes. Some of the fights I wanted to see animated, so I just went back and watched episodes.
Well, if you're gonna watch it, if you're not gonna watch this one, Alabasta is a for sure watch. Then
Yeah, Alabasta or
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Harem.
watch. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the entirety of One Piece at some point, regardless, right?
Yeah,
I'm just saying I kind of want to stick with the manga for now,
yeah,
and then get to the anime as I please.
yeah. No, I feel
But
what you're
I mean,
saying.
that's pretty much all I had for this whole Naruto One Piece debate. I think we touched on pretty much everything I came here to talk about.
You got
yeah, it was
yours,
a
Tristan?
pretty good. So I'm good on mine too. It summarized everything.
All right, so Tristan, you going to sleep, my guy?
I can stay.
Oh, you can stay. All right. Well, we're at 45, so we're gonna
Cut this
do a
one.
little bit of a chatting about some of our favorite anime and power systems.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, listen,
I have the
y'all
number
already
one
know.
power system in my head right now.
Not me, bro.
Bro, we all know it. We
Nah,
all
bro.
know it.
Not me,
And
bro.
if you're wrong,
I'm kicking you.
anyone out there who doesn't agree, you're wrong. Okay.
Nah, bro.
Give a
Nah, bro.
what you say, you're wrong.
I don't agree, man.
Hunter x Hunter
Thank you.
and Nen
Thank you. Thank you.
Nah,
is
bro.
the
Thank you.
greatest power system. I mean, it's not even like if you're an anime fan and you don't say Nen is the best, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Like you're cap.
I guess okay.
It's
The
So
balance,
I
the
think
flexibility, the
I think
versatility
Tower of
is
God has comparable or even better, but I guess it's technically not. Well, it has an anime, but the power system isn't really implemented within those 13 episodes, and it's Korean, so it's not really a manga shit either. So I give you it, whatever. You can have it.
Hunter x Hunter is by far the best. By
I
far.
don't know, man. The complexity and the depth, and it's crazy because you can go almost character by character and rip apart how complex. I mean, Krollo is just is insane how incredibly like limited but overpowered his ability is.
Because
If
he
you really
doesn't
think
have
of
any regular ability, but he
right,
has the one technique steal shit. So it's like he has
and
all the abilities but no actual abilities.
right, and it's insane the amount of conditions that he has to meet to activate it. And in another series, right, with an author who's not as talented as Togashi, that wouldn't work, right? Because you'd be like, bro, this guy's stupid overpowered, right? Um, so I mean, Nen is it's just insane, or even Karapika, right? Like Karapika's
My
power is
God.
crazy, but it only works within the confines of Nen because of the restrictions that are put on Nen. And
Yeah, he also got the boost it because if he doesn't use that one chain on the Phantom Troop, he'll kill himself, right? So he gets a big boost when he's using it on a Phantom Troop user or a member.
So
I don't know,
is
man.
it just the complexities or how they're implemented, like how it's used? Because
I think with any successful power system, it has to be a mix of both, right? Because if you have
does.
a super complex power system, right, you have a bunch of characters who don't use it to its the max ability. Like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point?
Yeah, so I think, personally, I think the complexity of it is probably, I would say, the way it's written and drawn out, like how it's made, is probably the best. But I think there's certain like systems that are used in battle a little bit different, like better. Like I say, like World Trigger, the way they have their characters that have the tree on, and they have the, I forgot what they call them. Basically, like your close range guys, your longer range guys. What's the, my fault, bro? I forgot. But the, god damn, I think the way that one's implemented, like or within battle, is a little bit better than Hunter x Hunter. But I think the way that Hunter x Hunter is written out and the different caveats they have to it, is better
Yeah.
than World Triggers. I would say that for sure.
Because honestly, in any Hunter x Hunter fight, well, most of them, because I'm not gonna say any. Like sometimes one guy's just stronger than the other guy,
Yeah.
right? In a lot of fights, like UP versus what's his name?
Knuckle,
Was it Knuckle? No, it was the guy with the smoke. Right.
Morel.
More UP is way more powerful than more, way more raw power, absolutely way higher,
Mopped
right?
and
But
raw power, mopped.
right, and moral, right, was able to Morel, whatever the fuck you want to say. I know you're
Yeah.
probably couldn't, whatever.
Don't care.
He was able to compete with him, right, using his ability, and he used it. He even had to stress himself, like, all right, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this, and he's a super experienced hunter, right? So I love that. I love watching that, right? Because in most battle shonens, like we were talking about with Naruto, right? Chakra started off as a pretty good power system, and I still think it is, right? There are levels to it. I think in Boruto it's been absolutely mishandled. It's just terrible how Chakra has been handled. But I think it started off as a pretty good power system, right? Especially with the whole gates being introduced, right? There were caveats to it. So you had different gates, you know, especially with like Rock Lee and Mike Guy. And then with the Byakugan being able to shut down with chakra points and stuff like that. I thought that was very interesting. But like we said, the characters just got to a level of strength to where that stuff didn't matter anymore, right? Chakra didn't like matter anymore. They had enough to where it's like, okay, they can just spit out abilities over and over again. Whereas in Hunter x Hunter, right, it's aura, right? You can't really run out of aura, right?
Yeah.
At
That's the
least I
thing
don't
I like
remember
though,
anybody running out of aura.
What happened to it?
because I said that's the thing I like about Hunter though. It's like you you can be overwhelmed and overpowered by aura, but the aura only gets you so far because we saw in the Chimera Ant arc like Meruem, yeah, he was like dummy strong, but I think it's Netero, right? The
Yeah.
chairman, right?
Yeah.
Well, he cheated.
Yeah, like that was ridiculous. Like he was literally wiping Meruem with the floor and it wasn't mattering. That's the only instance where it aura beat technique and everything because the chairman is maxed out in every category. Every
Yeah.
category except aura. That was it. So that was crazy to me because Meruem was no other category but aura. But that was the only instance where that happened. Because in any other fight, like you said, UP versus Morel. Morel was at a disadvantage because he was already using
Yeah.
used deep
Way.
pumping and like that technique uses a lot of nen and shit, right? He and Knuckle, I like his ability. I think his name is Shoot, right? The other one? Shoot.
Shoot,
Yeah.
useless, bro.
Yeah, Shoot. I don't know what the hell he was doing in that. I don't know. And then Nav. Nav was the one dude that pissed me off. Could have been the most one of the most useful.
His ability is crazy.
It
Like
is.
honestly,
It is. He was one of the most useful people in that show and chickened out the entire Chimera Ant arc.
So on to the next power system.
JoJo's
What about it, man?
stands, man. Stands. I love stand battles. Anyone who knows me, right, knows I absolutely adore JoJo's, right? And I one day we'll have a podcast about which part we feel like is the best, and what our personal favorite fights were from the series. But JoJo's and stands Amazing. As a power system, right? I don't really look at the data books. I feel like the JoJo's data books don't really like. I feel like they're broken
Yeah.
in a lot of cases. They don't make too much sense, especially when you watch the fights that happen in the show. Um, but I really do feel like a lot of the time in JoJo's like the way that each user uses their stand in a fight really determines like who the actual winner is, right? So like Koichi, right, with how he uses, who's one of my favorite characters in the show, how he uses like reverb, right, the various acts. I loved that because he has to constantly evolve his game plan, right, compared to a guy like Jotaro who has an insanely overpowered stand. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
crazy,
that shit is insane.
stupid, bro. Um, so the way that he has to use his stand in certain fights, right? Um, I really like it. You have various different types of stands: long range stands, short range stands. You have stands that have like weird off-brand abilities, right? You got a guy with a fish hook. You got a guy who can like make everything old around him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have a stand that doesn't activate until the person is dead, right? So like I love JoJo, right?
That's what I was.
While
I think that's the example of what I'm talking about when I say like complexity versus like implementation within battle. I think his stance is kind of perfect example. I think Black Clover has a pretty solid power system. Just the mana with the Bria Morris and how they have to. The character has to develop basically in order to get new spells within their stronger spells within their Grimoire. So I think it's pretty solid power system.
agreed. Only thing is with that is I don't the only thing that I feel like it holds it back is the complexity, right? Since it is so simple to understand, right? You know, you
Yeah.
got a five leaf clover, five clover grimoire gonna be strong, right? You gonna have a ton of mana, right? You know what I'm saying, right? Um, the more pages you have, generally the stronger you are, right? But I feel like a character like Zoro or Zara or something like that,
Zora.
to me is so right. It's probably the best example of a character who you know who is versatile enough because he has trap magic, right?
Yeah.
Really, if you think about it, like you can't really use trap magic offensively unless you're a smart fighter. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's probably like the best example on that show. Of a guy who tries to make a pretty simple power system more complex and versatile.
Yeah, and I think the fact that like if you really like put in the work, you can get to a little bit of a higher level. I think that's pretty that's a good thing because for example, Magna, what
Yeah.
he did to who was it? Was it Dante?
Yes.
There's no way 50 chapters ago he would have been able to do that if he hadn't been putting in that work with Zoro. So
And guess what? It's not an ass pull
it's not at all.
at all. And the reason I love this so much is because he was denied being a royal knight. That to me is the moment where he decided to change, right?
Yeah,
Because remember, he was sick. He was so pissed. He wanted to be a royal knight so bad.
yeah. Luck
To
got to
me,
go.
that's the moment where he decided, right, to change. Um, so let's talk about the worst of all the ones. Key fucking sucks.
Power system key, yeah. Key is garbage.
Key is horrible. It's horrible.
Is it even a power? Like that's literally just like. What
the
is
way
it?
the way it was established early on, yes, because they put a number to it, right? His key is over 9,000. You know what I'm saying? So it is a power. All right, is it a power system
It's a way to
or
measure
is
their
it
power.
a power tracker? You know what I'm saying?
That,
Right.
I don't know, but either way, that basically, if we're not counting as a power system, that means Dragon Ball just straight doesn't have one. You know what I'm saying? Because well, have we learned? I don't know. I think Dragon Ball, early Dragon Ball was really martial arts heavy. You had to actually like know what you were doing in a fight. Now you're just fucking Now with Dragon Ball Super, you're just screaming and shooting beams.
It's Bleach's power system, right?
Bleach is what do they call it? Is it the Shikai system? Zanpakuto. Uh,
And then you got the Quincy who have like a completely different. Oh, Ryatsu. That's what it is.
Ryatsu. Yep.
Ryatsu. Yep.
I think it's solid. It's all over the place, but it's solid. I think they what he basically did was he gave like the same type of abilities to the different races, but called them something different. So that's where it like gets mixed
Right.
up with a different like is this is like technically Bleach has like 4 power systems, but it's really one. It's just all different
Each
things.
race implements it in
Yeah.
a different way.
Yeah. I only
Because Quincy's.
go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So I was about to say I only kind of realized that on my reread because at first I was like, yeah, Bleach has like 9 different power systems, but when I reread it, I was like, okay, so I'm reading this fight and I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me that the Quincy's have the same sort of movement as a flash step? They just call it something else, and the Arankar do the same
Right.
thing.
Sunito. You got like Sunito with the Arankar, right? Isn't that what they call it? Sunito
Yeah,
step or something like that.
something like that.
Yeah. Versus the flash step.
Right. So
And if you guys want us to talk more Bleach, like we will. I like Bleach.
yeah,
Right?
actually,
I like Bleach. I think everybody in here likes Bleach.
we were actually planning on it.
We were planning on doing a Bleach,
Read through, bro.
read through / review type thing. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be down for that because Bleach is good, man. Bleach is very good.
Reading the first 11 chapters. So I think we'll talk about this off stream or off. I say off stream, off pod. But yeah, I think Bleach is a solid little power system, man. Solid. On to one of the ones I think is kind of bad. 7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah, what the hell is that about?
So they have magic, but they don't have like mana like Black Clover or Fate.
It's not defined.
Yeah, it's just
That's what I think.
magic.
It's just magic. It's not.
It's like
Honestly, the coolest powers are like the Ten Commandments powers, right?
oh yeah.
So like Estarossa, right? I think his power is really cool. You can't hate him. Like he's the love commandment, right? So like you can't hate him,
Dude,
so you
it's
can't
like-
beat him. But
I
the
think
only
it's
one
like-
who could fight him was the guy who had to fight him. Was Escanor.
Yeah, that Escanor is a demon. But I think 7 Deadly Sins is like it might be because the first season they couldn't even like quantify the power levels, so they added like a scouter for what's the pig's name? The pig. What was the pig's name?
Hawk.
Hawk. Yeah, a pig named Hawk. But they added a scouter for him to use to like quantify the power levels, and then they kind of just got rid of it. And these guys just kept ascending and ascending, and it's like, bro, like.
And then Meliodas is like, I don't even. What is his power? Like honestly, right throughout the series, like any time that he got pressed, I was like, this shouldn't happen, like for real.
It really shouldn't.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't happen where Meliodas is getting pressed by anyone.
I agree.
And don't get us wrong, like I feel like 7 Deadly Sins is like, I don't take that show serious, right? 7 Deadly Sins, even when it was at its peak, was always something I just watched, right? Didn't think too much about it. I never got too deep into it. Not a single character from 7 Deadly Sins, not a single one. Maybe, I mean, Estarossa and Escanor might be my 2 favorites from the show.
I like Bond.
But Bond's he's alright. But and after that, like, did I really care about Ian King? No.
Bro, you have
Like,
to.
it's just a show you watch and just kind of, okay, that was straight. You know, got some cool fights. But other than that, man, I don't really care. Like, they ruined a lot of character for me, Guild Thunder was really cool, and then he became a groupie. Like Hauser was another cool character, became a groupie. It's like, bro, like why did you decide to do this?
How did he become? How did Gil Thunder become so shitty, bro?
Bro, so bad. Like he became like really, really bad.
It was crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Is Quarks a
Hey,
power
man.
system?
RC cells, man.
Yeah, come on, bro. Come on, yo.
You know I had to throw Tokyo Ghoul in there, bro. You know I had to.
Get out of
I
here.
had to. RC cells, man.
Get out of here,
Hey,
bro.
Amo had the most in the series, which means nothing.
Absolutely. And then, I mean,
Quirks?
yeah, is Quirks a power system, bro?
I don't really think so. I
don't
think
think so
Quirks is
either.
more of a societal system. Because you're not gonna tell me that Coda, his little fucking water quirk, is like, I don't know, man. I feel like you got to get stronger with your quirk. There's a cap on certain quirks, right? So if your quirk is to like fucking make corn grow faster, right? You're not gonna be stronger than the guy who can, make every one of his physical movements faster, right? You're not gonna beat him in a fight unless you're in a cornfield.
I think Quirks to me is like.
He said unless you're in a cornfield.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I think Quirks to me is like it's just like a. You're all born with different ways, like a regular human. You just have different powers. Like regular humans have different bodies, different physical attributes, and then you just train your body to do what it's supposed to do. But some people more athletic, they're faster, or they're I don't know, fatter. Just the different ways.
That invisible girl, she wasting her quirk. Not gonna cap. I would have been assassinating everybody.
Bro, what?
Everybody. Bro, you're literally invisible.
Bro, why are you assassinating everybody?
Yeah, I'm not too sure why you said that.
Why? Yeah, that's crazy. What the hell?
All I gotta say is you ain't using her right. Because the way I would have been using her if I was a principal, yeah, all right. League of Villains would have been like 5 members short. Not playing with them.
I think what's his name? I think Tokiyami has one of the best quirks in that show.
I was just about to say that if you eliminate Deku from the show, right?
Tokiyami,
eliminate
that's the bird, right?
Yeah, the Raven.
Okay.
Dark Shadow.
Yeah.
He's for sure one of the best characters.
You know one thing I don't like about My Hero?
No.
Remember the guy, the lightning guy? He has a fucking basically like it's like a fucking dick joke, right? He like charges up and his fucking lightning comes out where his dick
Oh
is
yeah.
at. Remember when he like looked at Deku weird
Yeah.
that one time? He was like creeping on Deku.
Yeah, bro.
Nothing's ever happened with that. And like what the fuck was the point of that? Because remember everybody was trying to figure out like what the fuck? But he did that creepy look.
That was weird. I think I actually like skipped to the end of that episode to see what happened because I was watching that.
Like, bro, like, what was the point of that?
There was none, bro. They was just, you know what I'm saying? I think another power system. It's kind of like broken. Like, there's not really a system. Is a fairy tale. They have magic too, and they have mana. And you used to have to like conjure up like a magic circle and all this other stuff. But at some point, like they just stopped doing it. They were just shooting fire out, and they got like so. This is like I think this is more of a series flaw than a power system flaw, but like or a writing flaw, I'd say. But somehow Natsu he would like defeat all the final villains and stuff, right? Cool. That's fine. But and Urza, she would get beaten by those villains. Cool, fine. Natsu's he's that guy. He gonna take care of it. But he was never stronger than her. How is he weaker than her? But he's beating the villain every time. I don't get that. Like, and then there was one thing towards the end of the series where like Natsu.
Plot armor.
Yeah, for sure. Where Natsu fucking Natsu and Gray were fighting, and Urza She came and like blocked both of their punches. But this is the end of the series. At this point in the series, their punches could like those things do damage. Like they can break mountains and shit. So there's no reason she should just be able to barehandedly stop their punches like that. Shit, yeah. Like I said, I don't think that's more of a. I think that's more of a writing flaw.
Yeah, that's better.
But like that was just
having your MC win.
that was just crazy. I was like, bro, what? But I will say, Mashima, he's doing his new series, Eden Zero, and he's fixing a lot of the problems I had with Fairy Tail and Eden Zero. So I give him a little bit of credit, just a little bit.
Nah,
just a tad, bro. Just a tad.
we don't give anybody credit, bro.
But what's some of y'all favorite animes? Not really like best, but like favorites.
You want me to go?
You can go. Y'all already know I talked about Fate Zero last time, but I'll say something.
I rock with JJK, obviously, Vinland. I fuck with Mob. I like that. I watched like 4 or 5 months ago. I watched Parasite. That was really good to me too.
Okay.
I think a sleeper is you just have to. I don't know. I haven't finished it. Well, actually, the second season's about to come out. I think a sleeper is Shield Hero. But also, if you get into it, I think that Bungo Stray Dogs is decent too.
Agreed. That's a series that I feel like, just to hop on what you were saying, Bungo Stray Dogs is definitely a series that I feel like needs to get more attention in like the anime community.
Bro, I still haven't finished that third season. Yeah.
Dead Apple, isn't that what it's called? Like
No,
Dead
the
Apple or
third.
something?
That's the movie. I'm talking about the third season.
I thought, yeah, whatever. But yeah, Bungo Stray Dogs goes crazy, I definitely get a big Naruto Sasuke vibe, right? With
Right.
the two main characters.
How you say? I had to go out. I don't fucking know, bro.
I haven't watched it in forever, but whatever.
And then at sushi.
Yeah, it's sushi. What's another one that I like? That's kind of low key. What about you, bro? I'm saying, bro,
Me?
you watch and read a lot of stuff.
Shit. Hold on. Let me. You know what I'm saying? I got my list pulled up. For an underrated one, I love D Gray, man. That shit goes.
Oh yeah, we talked about this a lot.
That shit goes insane, bro. I think this is what like if you're looking now, like all the new, more mature, darker shonen. Yeah, you good. All the darker shonen. This is really like one of the first ones for real. So love D Gray. For an underrated joint, Hitman Reborn. That's my shit. Yeah, I can't even cap, bro. I can't even.
They did it so bad in the anime, just so bad.
So the first like 60 chapters or 20 episodes is like it started off as like a what do you call it, a gag manga. So it was
The
like
series it had no direction.
yeah, it was nonsense.
A baby.
But once it got to like actual like a battle shonen, it got pretty solid. They never finished the anime either too, which is crazy. Bleach.
You already know what one of my favorites is, man.
What Dragon Ball?
Toki. No. hell no. And don't get me wrong, I like Dragon Ball. But Tokyo Ghoul, man, look. Let me tell y'all something.
Tokyo Mid.
Ken
Yes,
Kaneki-
sir.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Ken Kaneki is one of my favorite characters.
Nah, he's
I don't
tough,
care.
bro.
I don't care how bad the anime is. Take your ass and read the manga, because Ishida is like that. I'm gonna say that boy Ishida is like that.
Yeah.
As far as my favorite new one, Tokyo Revengers, I'm gonna keep saying it. It's like that. It's that good. Sorry, guys. Takamichi's a great MC.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we heard you.
Yeah, we can.
I bet.
Takamichi is a great MC.
Yeah, Castle, we talking about some of our favorite animes right now. What you at, bro?
Hey man, it's our boy Castle, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all
Yo,
want to be together. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be nice to my guy.
Yeah.
man, please. New to this.
Hey,
You
but
know.
what you watching right now, bro? Like what
Shit. I
you
just
anime?
fucking caught up on Slime. It's like that was when I was heavily into once that first season dropped. About to start Tokyo Revenger actually tomorrow because I've been big slacking on that.
Now you need that.
I'm
No,
like
you
fucking
need
putting
that.
on a
You
lot of
might need to start tonight.
shit.
I ain't gonna lie, you might need to start tonight.
Uh,
I mean, shit, might have to.
What else, bro? What else, bro?
Got back into One Piece. It's like that's my shit heavily.
Okay.
Thing trying to get up. I'm at Wano now, but
okay.
I started like what 100 some fucking episodes ago.
Are you kind of watching the anime?
Yeah, but I got all the fucking books with me right now. It's like I could read that shit if I wanted
You
to.
could, but you just okay. I got you.
I decided not to.
Yeah. I got you. Man, I went through and I read to catch up to One Piece. I was like, bro, I can't do this. I can't do this.
That's a lot. Like I had to take a fucking break.
Bro. Yeah, that's what I did. So I watched 600 episodes straight, and then I was like, bro, I got it. Something else. Bro. I
Oh,
got
you bugging?
Yeah, bro, I was tweaking. I was like, I gotta do something else.
Hey man, so
East.
Casson, bro. Before
What's
you
up?
got in here, man, we was talking about some of the best power systems in anime, right? So off
All
the
right.
top of your head, what do you feel like is the best power system and the worst power system, right? Or the worst power label, right?
We talking in terms like how fucking Dragon Ball Z got fucking key and like shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
That's you
yeah,
talking about power system. We
yeah,
talking okay.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
chakra, nen, shit like that.
All right. I'll say fucking worst off rip JoJo's Hamon.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I didn't really think of that one, but that's fair. Okay, it's the worst. You think Hamon was that bad?
No,
I don't think it was that
it's
bad.
one of those that's like because the series of JoJo was like fucking written just like off the top of his fucking head. A lot of the shit has no
Yeah.
explanation to it at all. So someone like me
Hey,
who
hold
tries to
on.
understand what's up?
Hold on. Whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, you're wrong there, buddy. I need you to
Wasn't
go on YouTube. I need you to
wasn't
watch
season
this
fucking
guy.
Wait,
wasn't
what do you say?
fucking was it part four just like written as a one shot? Not as a one shot, but like just written off the top?
I mean, so he tends to write. So he has a map of where he wants the story to go, but he tends to take routes like you said. Like he knows where the story is gonna go, right? He knows the middle, the beginning, middle, end. He just
Yeah.
kind of doesn't know how he's gonna take to get to that route. So he kind of freelances in that regard. But I will say this: go on YouTube in your free time, watch Debunking Araki Forgot. It will change the
Alright.
way that you view the series. Because I'm the same way. When I first was reading JoJo and shit like that, I was thinking like he forgot a lot of stuff. He actually didn't. A lot of the things are actually explained. He just doesn't explain them in the best way until you go back and watch the videos. But go ahead and continue.
So to that point, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I only got past like part four. I didn't even like start part five, and it's been a minute. So
Wait, hold on. Part 4 is
Diamonds,
Josuke.
diamonds and
yeah,
hearts.
so I watched one
Bro,
part
that's
one
like the
through
best
four.
part.
What I didn't like part four that much.
Whoa.
Okay, you will like part 5. If you didn't like part 4, I guarantee you
Part
like part
five is
5.
heat. Like that shit goes crazy.
Yeah.
Part 5 is heat, but part 4 is like if part 5 is a 10, right? Which is not a 10, but
Yeah.
if part 5 is a 10 JoJo's, right? Part 4 is a 9.5. Like straight up. I'm sorry, bro. Part 4 is so Kira.
I think
You didn't like Kira?
Mm,
No, Caslin, you're making me sad. You're making me sad, but you're making me sad.
I think
Because Kira is a
the peak of part four is probably higher than the peak of part five, but part five as a
agreed.
whole is probably no.
I
It's
think
definitely
Kira
better.
as a villain was honestly a fire villain. Not gonna lie, because it
Okay.
takes
Oh,
like
phenomenal.
Okay.
my whole thing, right? Because again, there are a lot of
Koichi?
points, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You're gonna
Fuck
start naming
Koichi.
people, and I'm just not gonna fucking remember. So I'm like over here. I'm literally googling these motherfuckers right now so I can get a picture.
Come on,
But I feel
man.
like there's
Baby
a lot of
Gohan.
underrated fucking a lot of underrated stands in that show or in that series. That fucking part.
Yeah.
Like Koichi's.
The hair.
Bro, that shit was so underused.
Oh, I don't agree. The stand that I think was underused,
The
but it
handful,
makes sense. The character, yes, that the character that uses it. See, that's what I like about Araki, though. He gave the only character in the show that he could have gave that ability to, right, to not make it as overpowered as it should be, right? You know what I'm saying? So that
true.
the way that the stand is underused because the person using it is stupid.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's
I think
upsetting because like
Koichi
I
did.
understand that, but like the kid inside of me wants to see that to its full potential, but I just know that I
Yeah,
can't.
right,
But I
right.
can't get mad at the way it's written, because like I said, it fucking makes sense to have someone who's not the smartest use the most OP character to balance it out.
Right. Ah, man. I love Koichi, bro. I don't know, man. Koichi earned my respect, bro. Hey, you can't.
Yeah,
Hey,
fuck
No,
what
Koichi.
he
Koichi
did.
did.
Def had a glow up. Def did progress through the series. I will not lie to you because I was not feeling him at first. I wasn't.
Fuck him.
He bossed up a bit. Bossed up a little bit.
But part 5, I definitely think if you're, because I feel like you look for more serious tones and you look for you know yeah, like more serious stuff. Part 5 will definitely provide you what you want. Trust me. Giorno is not
Also,
Josuke.
Giorno's
Giorno
was
puts
like,
in work.
Jono's
I
whack, bro.
it's
Bro,
like
actually, like I watched like 5 episodes. I was like, bro, what the hell? This is not even JoJo's, bro. Like I just put that bitch
Whoa,
down.
he's capping.
Nah,
He's
nah.
capping.
At first, I was like, bro. When I first started part 5, right after part 4, I was like, I can't watch this.
Bro, Jotaro's in like the first episode. And
Yeah,
Koichi. They're both in the first
yeah,
episode.
but it like, first of all, where the fuck did Koichi go in part 5?
All right, they were useless in that part.
Where did he go?
Literally, because they just disappeared. Like they just left.
I was like, what the fuck? But nah, but once I like got a little bit away from like right after watching part 4, I could watch part 5, and that shit goes insane.
Crazy, bro. Bro,
It's
goes
insane, bro.
crazy. You're gonna love part 5, Cassim. You're gonna love part 5.
you see, I really hope so because that's what fucking happened when I started JoJo. Because I refused to watch it for a cool minute. I'm not even gonna
I
cap.
did too. Same way.
And
'Cause their
it wasn't
outfits-
until one of my boys decided he would watch One Piece if I watched JoJo, and he hyped this. Like literally every time I got to a different part, he'd be like, "That's the best part," or "You're gonna like that part so much better."
See, he tweaking. He tweaking.
And it's
So,
just
hold
like,
on. What I would say about that right is one thing that I do now personally when I watch anime is I try to look for what the author is trying to do with each, whether it be a part or each season or each character, right? What is the author's purpose in writing the way that he's writing? And I feel like in JoJo's, part 4 and part 5 are about two different things, right? Right. Part 4 is about just the small town of Morio, right? Because if you
Yeah.
think about it, part 3 is like around the world. Like you go everywhere in
Hell
part
yeah.
3,
yeah.
right?
we
And
traveled.
it's the ending of the trilogy, right? Because you go from
Right.
what, Jonathan to Joseph, or whichever one. There's so many to Jotaro, right? And Jotaro is the one that ends the whole Dio situation, kind of. And then you go to part 4 where it's like you go from this, macro view, right? You're on Google Earth, you see the entire Earth. To now you go to just Morio, and it's just the crazy town of Morio, right? And what happens in Morio doesn't affect anything in the grand scheme of the story, but it matters for that town, and I think that's what Araki was trying to go for in part 4. Part 5 is a little bit more. It's still pretty self-contained, but there's a lot more going on as far as what could and would happen if the characters didn't do what they did. But that's what I think your friend was trying to go for, but he hyped it up way too much.
See, I'll say to that point, it's the same reason like why you had to take that break from part 4 to 5. It's like I watched part 1 through 4 all the way straight, so it's like going from that journey of fight of part 1 through 3 going all across the fucking world, and then like now I'm just stuck in this town. kind of
Right.
like watching that right after part 3 was like, what the fuck is this? You know?
Yeah. And what you'll find with the JoJo community, a lot of it is they're like insane, like they're super stans of whatever part that they like, and I hate that in
Yeah, for
in
sure.
any like
You get that,
you
or you get the yo, this
it
character influenced
sucks,
this anime, or this character, or he influenced this by doing this.
right?
Um,
I hate when there's like when they say like, oh yeah, this anime influences this with like nothing, like nothing to show for it. It's
Right.
just like, yeah,
And JoJo's did influence and stuff, right?
it does.
JoJo
yeah,
was influenced by Fist of the North Star.
Yep.
Right.
Fist of the North
You know
Star
what I'm
goes
saying?
crazy, by the way, but
Right, it does. And Fist of the North Star honestly like influenced a lot. JoJo does influence stuff, right? But to say like, oh, well, the author got everything from JoJo, that's just come on, bro.
that's
Right?
crazy. It's
You
crazy to
ruin the
say.
series like that.
especially as somebody like who hasn't watched it yet. It's like I'm not trying to hear all that right now. I'm trying to just like
Right.
jump in, get my toes wet a little bit. I don't need you fucking bombarding me with like, yo,
JoJo's
pay
fans are
respect to
probably
this
like
show.
the worst ones I've seen on the internet because
Bro,
they're
one of the
insane,
worst. They're
bro.
one of the worst, bro. Just bad communities, just
They're
horrible
insane.
communities, bro. It's
JoJo
like, bro,
fans
you
are
can
just
like a
trash.
different part. Like, just because I don't really like part 2 does not mean part 2 sucks. I just don't like part 2 compared to part 5. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
It's
part
like,
2 fans are the worst.
bro, it's like I get it. It's not bad. I don't think part 2 is bad either. It's just not good compared to the fifth part
Or the fourth one.
or the fourth one. Fourth and 4 and 5 are my personal favorites.
Yeah.
I think Araki hit his groove in part 4 and 5, right? Because if you look at like stands in part 3, right? They were pretty simple, right? Most of the stands in part 3 are like really simple.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, oh yeah,
fucking whatchamacallit stand is just like a fire stand, right? Like
the fucking fire
okay.
chicken,
Abdul.
Right.
the
Right.
fucking
Abdal
cake.
stand is just like a fire stand, right? Pulling stand is just a stand that can fence really fast, right? Then you go to part 4, you got stands that can like rewind time and put you in time loops and all this like extra crazy shit. You got
Delete
to stand
space.
right. You got stands that can do crazy stuff. And then
You-
part 5, you
These are
take that to the
random
next
stands,
level.
bro. Bucciarati is literally a fucking zipper.
Zipper, like he can
What the
zip
fuck?
shit.
What the fuck?
But it's fun, bro. Part 5 is really fun.
Part 5's lit, bro. I definitely give that a shot.
All right, so you said the worst is Hamon, right? So what's the best? I know we went on a crazy JoJo's tangent right there too.
Dude, that's kind of tough for best. Damn. All right, what did y'all say? Because I want to, before I fucking give my answer, I want to hear what y'all said.
Hey, I mean, I think this is an easy question, honestly. I think it's Nen, and I think it's Nen by a long shot. And the reason why, so I think it's a good power system, right? If it lacks in complexity, it has to be very versatile, right? Meaning that the characters who use it have to use it in fun, interesting, and new ways or dynamic ways throughout the battle, right? I think Nen is the best blend across all shows that have a legitimate power system in the fact that it is not only complex, but is extremely versatile. You have all the limiters and conditions on Nen, right? So characters like Krollo, characters like Karapika, who place all these conditions to boost their abilities that are overpowered. Because when Karapika goes into Emperor Time, he is extremely overpowered. And then Krollo's ability is insanely overpowered, but also weak if you really think about all the things that he has to do in order to obtain somebody else's ability, right? And then when those characters use it to fight, Karapika is really only useful against the Phantom Troop, right? Krollo is useful against a lot of people, but he has to use all the abilities that he's stolen in fun and interesting ways against a bunch of opponents. And I can name more and more opponents, but I just feel like Hunter x Hunter combines the complexity and versatility the best of any show.
Damn, you know what's funny? I didn't even think about fucking Nen for a minute.
Nah, bro.
Now I feel like my answer ain't as up to par.
Nah, you're fine, bro.
But I was thinking of Black Clover's Grimoire system.
We talked about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we did. I said I think Tower of Gods is probably the best.
I haven't gotten the Tower of God yet,
Oh, you're
so I
tweaking.
can't speak on that.
I feel
So
like
to talk about Black Clover, right? So what we said about Black Clover, well, what I said, not what we said, is I did agree that it's a good power system, right? But the only thing is there aren't many characters who use it, and a lot of the characters, the way that they use their powers are very linear, right? Right. It's like I have a water ability, right? So I just do water stuff, right? I have a fire ability, so I just do fire stuff, which makes sense, right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But a character like Zara, right, who I think trap magic is very, very cool. And I also don't think there's enough variations of magic currently in Black Clover to where you get many exciting battles, right?
yeah.
So I think
You get
Zara's
your tip.
magic to me is the most useful. I mean, the most versatile right now, and the way that he has to use it, because trap magic is pretty defensive, right? You would want a trap magic user if you were like guarding a castle or something like that, right? Set up a
Yeah,
bunch of these little portals or whatever. But he's able to use it offensively because he's, versatile. You know what I'm saying? He's a smart, dynamic character. So while the complexity of Black Clover's Grimoire system is not the same as Nen, right? I don't think the complexity nor the versatility is that of Nen. So that's why I have it ranked lower. But it's still a good power system.
so where would you rank the Devil Fruit system then in this?
See, I just started. That's funny because I just
Oh,
started.
yeah.
I just started One Piece. Right, we're starting our. I'm on like chapter. I just got done. Where they fought Captain Kuro. Right, so
oh,
Usopp just joined the game.
He's really
oh
good,
yeah.
bro.
He's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Never
yeah,
mind. I'm not.
Yeah,
We won't speak on that too much yet. Then.
yeah.
yeah.
So
We'll see.
for
Damn.
Tower of God, they kind of have their power system's based on like it's like a team battle, right? So you have your fishermen who are the close range fighters, wave controllers who are kind of like your mid range fighters, your spear bearers, your long range fighters. Then you have the light bearer who's kind of like your commander, and then you have your
Was
scout
this
who's
Clash Royale?
yeah, it's mad tweaking. But you got your scouts who's kind of gather your intel based on your opponent, things like that. And then so they have their basic abilities, and you match that with Shinsu. I'm not Korean, so I'm not gonna say that correctly, but y'all can whatever. Which is basically kind of like their key waves or whatever. So a wave controller can kind of freely use your Shinsu while your other guys they can use it, but only like to kind of what's the word enhance their movements. Like it'll help them move faster and stuff, quicker up and down, whatever. Then on top of that, you have your ignition weapons. So your ignition weapons are basically like weapons that have a soul embedded in them. So you have your those ignition weapons, and then you have living ignition weapons where they did some kind of fucked up experiments. So basically, they have another soul trapped in their body, and now they're a living ignition weapon. And I guess it's really more the how it's implemented than the system itself. But so I guess it really comes down to who's the people fighting. But I think the depending on the squad you have, that's probably my favorite for power system. Probably the best to me. And that's the
Well,
basic run through of it.
that's the basic, bro.
Yeah,
Fucking
I'm not
confused.
running through everything for real, but
Did you read it or did you watch that like first season
so
and then read it?
I watched the first 30 seconds like when it first came out. Then I shut it off because I didn't like the art style. And then in January this year, I ran through it, read like 450 chapters in like 2 weeks, and then I stopped because the author was like had some hand problems or whatever, so they kind of put it on hiatus for like around a year, 9 months or something like that. But they just started it up back up again, so I I watched the first season this time. It's actually solid. It's a solid first season, and then started reading it again. Well, webtoons are pretty tough, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I like some.
Oh, oh
webtoons.
God. Wait, have you read Solo Leveling?
Yeah.
Okay. I
That's
feel like I've
Solo
asked you that
Leveling.
already.
Hey,
What's up?
Yeah, you good, bro?
No, I just want to say something.
Yo, you hey yo. I read like 175-ish chapters. Yeah, 175 chapters and got out of high school. Yeah, it's crazy how they sped run that anime. That was insane, bro. The world. What else? What else were webtoons? Huh?
So, Caslin,
Yeah,
what you think of JJK, bro?
you're gonna be upset.
Hold on.
I only got like 12 episodes in.
Bro, what's up with you, bro?
Come, bro.
What's
Hey,
up with you,
hey,
bro?
hey.
Whoa, hold on,
Hold up.
wait. Let me explain.
Hey. All right.
I started watching it like right before I PCS'd for my last base, and then like from that fucking point, I think once I left my last base, I just haven't. I honestly haven't watched basically anything since then.
Okay.
With getting settled in this new base,
Where you at now?
but from what I watched, I fucking loved it.
Okay. That saved what you were. I thought.
Yeah,
you was
no.
finna
Yeah,
say,
that's why I
it's
had to explain.
mid. It's trash. I was about to go dumb.
Yeah.
I know I had to explain.
No,
'Cause that shit
I
is
mean,
fire.
it's not what we didn't like what you was gonna say, but you made it seem like you was finna say something crazy.
Yeah,
Nah.
first podcast
Nah.
on disrespect JJK.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
You can't do that here, bro.
How you
Our
get
viewers
booted?
would have banned you.
Can't do that
They
here,
would've
man. Alright. Well, is
I
there
think like
anything
what
else
was
we
the
had
last thing that I fucking saw?
to tap into?
I mean,
Hold
I
on.
don't know, man. Anything else you want to talk about, Caslin? You are the guest. You know what I'm saying? If you want to add something in there, we could touch on the topic
What's
real
your
quick.
top 5 manga, bro?
Top 5 manga?
Yeah, bro.
Off the top of your dome, right now, 10 seconds.
Top.
One Piece, Demon Slayer, FMA, fuck, Slime, and Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Oh, one more question.
What's up?
Are you're caught up on the manga of Attack on Titan, right?
No, but I had someone spoiled it for me, so it's like,
Oh my God, Caslin, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
bro, I'm very much so like the way when I fucking read or watch things, it's like I get so fucking focused on one particular show,
Okay, that makes
and I
sense.
put everything else to the side.
Okay.
And then shit builds up, and hence why like now I haven't fucking seen like damn near anything.
Yeah.
Man, because
I can't multitask for my life. I can't.
the
And
the ending of Attack on Titan, we're in all our listeners, right? GSM podcast listeners. One day I will get on here and rant for an hour on why the ending of Attack on Titan sucks. But I will say this. It does not, I repeat, it does not ruin the show completely.
Yeah,
It just takes it down.
It drops it a couple spots.
Yeah.
What's your top 5 manga, bro?
Mine? So let's go. Kingdom, right? Vagabond. Good night, Poom Poom. Tokyo Ghoul. And let's go Tokyo Revengers as well. I have a ton that I need to read, but I'm not the biggest manga. I wasn't the biggest manga fan before, but I'm trying to get more into manga now.
I feel like if you're really like in this space, you kind of have to, because there's so many series that don't get
are amazing.
anime.
Vagabond is just amazing.
Yeah.
did you guys like Dr. Stone?
I like Dr. Stone. I don't think you didn't finish it, right?
No. Well, I'm
I
asking.
can't watch Dr. Stone. Like,
Well, okay. Have you read Soon Can Rock?
Sunken Rock. No, so that's by the same like artist or something like that, right?
By Boichi.
Yeah.
That shit, I could say that shit.
Yeah, I think it's
Personally, I like
actually,
it better than Dr. Stone.
Oh yeah, probably. Dr. Stone is kind of weird in the fact that it's like a science shonen thing.
I love how they put like the little like warnings. It's like don't do this at home, but you
Yeah,
teach me the exact steps to do it.
yeah, that's
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
crazy, bro.
That joint's wild, bro. But
Make a carpet.
bro, I
No,
can't
don't
I
make
can't
carpet
finish
run.
Doctor Stone. Can't do it. I
I
keep
mean, I
trying to
can
watch it. I'm
understand
like,
it.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I dropped that series too.
me too, bro. Every time I
Uh,
go on Crunchyroll, I'm like, I'm gonna watch Doctor Stone. Nah.
I feel like you have to be kind of interested in like you have to love the characters, otherwise you're
And
not
I
gonna be able
don't.
to watch that.
See, the thing was like it was cool up until when like right after they fucking released that caveman nigga. Like
The
right
big
after he
strong dude.
yeah, right after he got
Right.
released,
That's when I dropped it. I dropped
I
it
was
right
like,
after
it
that.
ain't
Was that like
it
episode
ain't the
3?
same. Now we
2?
fighting wars. I was
Nah,
like, I'm good.
no, I dropped it when they fought him on the beach. Remember when they like fought
Yeah.
him on the beach or whatever?
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
when I dropped it. I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, bro. It's because the fights aren't gonna be like fights because they're not fighters. These are scientists and cavemen.
It's literally fucking brains versus
yeah,
brawn.
yeah.
Which I would be fine with, right? Because like I said, what is the series trying to do, right? I understand that this isn't gonna be Doctor Stone and him fighting 1-on-1, right? It's not a
Yeah,
fucking
no.
Hajime no Ippo, right? But even then, like it's not doing enough to still keep me interested.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand for sure. I think when I watched it is actually when I first got here is when I watched it. I had nothing to do. I was like, all right, let's hop in some Dr. Stone. Screw it. So, but nah, my top 5 manga. Shit, I'm probably finna go Vagabond Kingdom, Berserk, Vinland Saga.
Let me
Oh,
rewrite
I
mine.
forgot about
Throw
Vinland
Berserk
Saga.
in there for Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah. What'd I say? Vagabond Kingdom, Finland. Vagabond Kingdom, Berserk, Vinland, and shoot. I want to go D Gray Man, but I'm gonna say Yona of the Dawn, man. Yona goes crazy. Man, fuck it. I'm doing my top 10. We got D Gray 6, One Piece 7. Fuck. I'm gonna go Tower of God 8. Shoot. I'm gonna go. Do I want to do that? No, I don't think I do. Scroll down a little bit. I want to go Blade of the Immortal 9. I'll go. Do I want to? I'll go Tokyo Ghoul 10. Willing to do that.
Since y'all like Tokyo Ghoul, is it better to read it
Oh yeah.
than watch it?
Yeah,
Because
oh,
like
Read it,
yes.
read it,
Yeah,
read
yeah,
it,
don't
read it,
even-
read it.
don't
because
even-
I watched the first 2 seasons and I was like, what the fuck what is this?
Okay. I will say
All
this. Not episode. Season 1 is not terrible.
It's not bad.
Right? It's not bad. The fight with Kaneki and Jason is amazing. The opening is legendary. But and this is the problem I have with the adaptation. There is a character in the manga named Manjo that is extremely, and I mean extremely important to Kaneki. He does not even matter. Does not really show up at all in the anime. And I have no answer. I have no answer as to why they left him out. Tokyo Re is horrible.
Yeah.
Right? RE is terrible as
I
far
actually
as
watched,
in the anime.
6 episodes of it, and I was like, bro, why'd I watch 6
It's
episodes of
bad.
this?
It's so bad.
And
but
I
the
thought
manga is
because I
so
read-
good.
I thought because I read the manga for that part, I'd be like, okay, I'll be fine. Like I can dictate my way. I can find my way through this. I can, but like I just don't feel the want to because like most of the plot points just aren't there.
Bro, the manga is so good. It's so good.
And then what is it like? Route A? Is that the other one?
That's just
That's
cap.
that's literally cap. Like that's not even. Why is that? That shouldn't even be a thing, bro. Straight up. But yeah, I also highly recommend Kingdom. Probably, it's one of my favorite ones. I think this is the manga. This is the manga that kind of got me into reading manga for real. Kingdom. I would definitely say. But yeah, man. I mean, shoot. Oh, I'm looking at something right here. The staff for Kingdom, a former assistant of Hara is Sui Ishida.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm scrolling down this. I'm like, what is this? It's kind of crazy how many high level artists or creators started off as assistants.
It was an
They got to
assistant
start somewhere.
for Ruri Kenshin. He was an assistant as well.
Who, Oda?
Yep.
Yeah, bro. I saw that the other day. I was like, bro, are we serious for real? Oda. You mean Ichiro Oda was somebody's assistant at one point? Crazy, bro. Really is. A lot of Chainsaw Man, Fujimoto, a lot of his assistants are getting like pretty high profile. Manga's getting going. But yeah, I mean, y'all got anything else to add, bro? Because this is now
Nah, man.
damn near a 2-hour pod. Dang, bro.
I need to ask this. What time is it for y'all right now?
For me,
It is 3:06 in the morning.
it's 10 p.m.
You say 10 p.m.?
Yes, sir. On the 17th. It's still Friday.
All right.
Yeah, bro.
I'm making sure because I'm like, dude, it's 3 a.m. And if you're trying to catch me on a fucking random ass like Wednesday to do a podcast, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, see, that's
I'm
why
gonna be at work.
whenever you ask for like times, I'm like, I'm gonna try and get back to you, but like they're so ahead of me. Is they're always sleeping whenever I like message you, and then I'm so behind them. It's like I'm not gonna catch them in the morning because when I wake up, it's already their afternoon type stuff. So it's kind of hard for like. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
and I
like,
only answer because like I'm mid shift.
yeah, okay. That's what I'm saying.
What time is it where you at?
It's 3 a.m.
Where they got you at, nigga?
Now I'm in fucking North Dakota. Nigga, I'm in Minot.
Oh shit.
Yup.
All right, but if you enjoyed the podcast, go watch it on or listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the high profile streaming platforms. We're on there. We're probably gonna do our sports thing next, our division wars or something. I don't know. We're gonna try and figure it out. But if you enjoyed, thanks for listening. Send it to your friends or whatever. If not, that's fine. But
Nah, it's not.
yeah.
Yeah, but why? If you don't want to do it, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right, man. Just tap in next time, I guess. But it's been a good pod. Thanks for listening, and we're gone.